Donald Trump could become the first president in history to go to jail, and the media is cheering it on. At any moment, we could hear from the judge on whether he thinks the former president violated his gag order in his hush money criminal trial. Prosecutors want to slap Trump with a $1,000 fine for each of the 10 alleged violations, and they want all offending posts removed. What they are not asking for is jail time. The press, on the other hand, is outright demanding it.
The fine is not going to deter, but incarceration will. If I were the trial judge, yes, I would impose jail time.
Really? If Donald Trump continues to attack jurors and/or witnesses or even court personnel, then the judge will really have no choice but to incarcerate him. That could be for an afternoon or overnight.
I would give him 2 weeks of home confinement with an ankle bracelet. If he's a good boy in those 2 weeks and he doesn't violate the gag order, we can take off the ankle bracelet.
And we could have gone on. Though it's unlikely Trump will be thrown in the slammer, his Secret Service has reportedly had preliminary discussions on what to do if he were. It's unbelievable, Judge. What do you think the Merchan is waiting for in this gag order issue? What's going on?
I don't know what's taking him so long, but the prosecutors had asked for a meeting with the federal, state, and city officials regarding what would happen if Trump were to be sent to jail. And then all of a sudden, the prosecutors come out and they say, you know, we're not looking for jail time against the president for the gag order. And these people are idiots. I mean, they don't understand the criminal justice system. They are fools, okay? Number one, the guy's 77 years old. Number two, it's a Class E felony. The most you can get is 4 years. And number three, the guy doesn't have a criminal record. The last thing you would do is sentence this man to jail. Okay, but having said all that, I looked at the order where Donald Trump is gagged, and the order says three things: that Donald Trump cannot make or direct others to make public statements. He cannot make or direct others to make public statements about counsel, and he cannot make or direct others to make public statements about a prospective juror. Okay? Now, I also looked up every one of the tweets that the president on Truth Social has supposedly sent that violate, allegedly, the gag order. There's no violation because he did not make or direct. All he did was repost things that Andy McCarthy said, that Jonathan Turley said, that the editorial board said, that Michael Avenatti said, that Jesse Waters said.
Who's that?
Okay, I don't know. Okay, there is no violation of the gag order. Period. End of the story.
What do you think, Harold? Are you giving them the judge the benefit of the doubt?
Well, I give the President Trump the benefit of the doubt in this regard. I know people don't like that, but that's just the kind of guy I am. I think a couple things. If the president, as a defendant, he's still an American who we all, if he gets a precedent that is set, then we all are able to follow it. He's special, but he's not super American because of that, too. I would only send him to jail, and I would lay it out clearly to him. If you attack a juror, identify a juror, or endanger a juror, or you do the same to court personnel, I would release this to the public. You will be jailed, period. The other stuff will be $1,000 fines. I can take a little criticism myself. I think that Michael Cohen, who has been, I don't understand why President Trump can't say things about Michael Cohen, because Michael Cohen has said things about him as a witness who's coming before the courts. I think that is fair game.
Yep.
But if you're going to say anything about a juror, if I were that judge, if you say anything about court personnel or their families, you endanger them, Mr. President, I don't care what your name is, what job you served in before, you're an American. You will go to jail. Other than that, I'd fine him, and we get on with the trial.
Jesse Waters.
I mean, Teflon Don's a slippery little sucker, and he survived bankruptcy, Access Hollywood, the Russia hoax, impeachment, January 6th. He was left for dead. And the man's got 9 lives. And the Democrats know he's such a threat because he beat Hillary, and the only reason he lost to Biden was because of COVID and the CIA and the FBI.
And because he didn't get as many votes.
So they see him as a threat because he can play on their turf in the Rust Belt, and he can play in their base with blacks, Hispanics, young people. And so they've decided to stop politicking, and they just want to incarcerate the guy. And they caught him. They trapped him in a cage. We call it a courtroom, but it's a cage. And he's like King Kong. And they're sending Maddow down there, and she's looking at him like an animal. She's like, oh, man, his hair is really orange. Look at his eyes. Look at his lips. He's angry. He's mad. He's upset. Watching him. They're not providing any sort of legal analysis. Joy Reid went down there, and he's like, well, he's bigger than I thought he was. I mean, they're acting like it's like a zoo creature. And what happens with King Kong? You remember? Boom, it's not going to be good. So he's going to bust out of this cage eventually. They're not going to be able to keep him down.
They killed King Kong.
Yeah. He took
Yes.
a white woman on top of a building, and it was frowned upon in the 40s.
I don't think I saw the end of that movie.
Yeah, it was a bad day for
It was a bad day for King Kong.
Kongs everywhere.
Well, I think King Kong 2 was a little bit different.
Jesse, end it while you can.
Yeah,
Tyrus,
1%'s not going to save you, Briz.
What did you think about that media montage? Like,
Oh man, it just Jesse with King Kong is just completely blown my mind. I think to quote Star Wars, I think the problem is they want to put him in jail desperately. The judge wants to put him in jail. It's just they're a little. These progressives are a little cleverer than I thought. On this one, they're awake, not woke, because is the risk worth the reward with President Trump? You lock him up, he's a martyr. And you inspire, you will get voters that'll be like, you know what, I'm staying home as a Republican. You're going to rally the base. You're going to rally the independents. You're going to rally the libertarians who are like, this man's being put in jail for what is thin to nothing. We've seen to where people have said horrible things about our Supreme Court justices outside their house, and we're still waiting for them to be arrested. So this administration has been very lax. So now you're seeing them, they're going to lock him up. You are just doing his campaigning for him. That's why they're struggling. You want to find him $1,000? The dude just dropped 2 Halliburtons of almost $1 billion in the thing. Like, you think that's going to hurt him? It's not. They're stuck right now. They made a big move. We'll lock him up. They expected to scare him. And then O'Donnell was like, do what you got to do.
Should they put him in jail for attacking a juror?
Yes, but they didn't. They didn't wait until he did that.
Where did he attack the jury?
He didn't. No. He's asking me a question hypothetical.
Judge, I'm saying this would be what I would lay out if I were the judge.
But the judge laid it out.
But the judge already played it out.
You know whose fault that is? The judge. The judge should not have allowed any information out. But under this gag order, Trump did not violate it.
Judge, you asked me a question. I was just trying
I answered it.
Are you sure King Kong died at the end?
Yes, he got the white woman, and they were fine. But once he got to the top of the building,
I thought he was up there on the top of the building.
He was up, and they shot him down. It was 1946. We've come a long way from that.
All right.
You know, my wife is.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.